just going to section 336 pages today, not going to Birdland Tonight stuff.
Okay.
Birdland Tonight is standing on its own right now. All right, let's hit the music.
Behind home plate, we bringing it to them all day. All day. Yo, what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Win or lose, we bringing it to you always. Always. Yo, what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Orange or black, we rebuild the pack. No matter where we at, you know we coming back. Section 336, we on this, so tune in. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Yeah, welcome to Birdland. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Now, here come the boys from Section 336.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Baltimore sports fans of all ages, welcome to Section 336, Next Generation Baltimore Sports Talk. I am your endearingly stuttering host, Matt Sroka. As always, I'm joined by the button lover, Josh Sroka.
Hey, Matt, how you doing?
Oh, pretty good. We're starting a couple minutes late. Josh was just slacking a little bit.
A couple minutes late?
It's 8:03. You know what I was thinking about?
Yeah, you showed up early.
I had a student who came in late to my Google Meet today,
Okay.
and I gave her one of these. Little slap on the... Do people still understand this is a reference? Do kids understand that this is a reference for being late when you slap your wrist with your finger?
Yeah, because they all have Apple Watches now.
Would it make more sense to do one of these, like a phone reference, like bring up your hand like you're holding a phone as a marker of, hey, you're late, like check your phone, you're late?
I think since you're on Zoom, you should have one of those old, like, big teacher clocks that you can just hold up.
Yeah. Give a little pop quiz. Who can read this clock?
Right.
Yeah. But
so you're still teaching on Zoom a few days a week?
Every day.
No, I thought you were back in school.
Well, we are, but kids still have the option. So I have some kids in the classroom and some kids on the Google Meet. It's very complicated.
And you're teaching both at the same time?
Well, teaching is a loose term, but yes, I am there.
Don't you just kind of ignore the people on Zoom and focus on the kids in the classroom?
No, not really, because on some days, it depends on the day, but some days there's more kids on the Google Meet call than there are in the classroom.
Weird.
So it's like, and so I have to like be tethered to my desk with my computer, but then walk around, but then come back and say, okay, I got to check on them and then go walk around again. But that's fine.
Weird. Yeah. I see. I guess that's what's going on here because it is optional, but I think most people are in school right now.
Oh yeah, we're like half and half. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, Josh, stay the Orioles up or down?
Up. We just won a series in Texas.
We did.
So they're up. State of Franco is down, but the rest of the Orioles is up.
Well, since we last talked, we lost 2 to Seattle and then took the series against Texas. So I think we're 2-3 since we talked last Monday. But you know what, Josh, I was thinking about this. If nothing else happens, no matter what, if we lose 130 games, but if somehow we finish ahead of the Yankees in the standings, like we currently are, then I would call this season a big success.
A win.
Yeah,
I think
that's a huge win.
If the Yankees continue with the worst record in baseball, that's a big win for just baseball in general.
Yeah. It doesn't go well for the Yankee fans, but everybody else.
No.
I mean, I'm just so happy how terrible the Yankees are.
The Yankees end in the bottom 5, and no one will remember who wins the World Series this year. They'll just remember the Yankees were at the bottom.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that. I thought they already played the World Series and the Dodgers won. That's what everyone has told me. But the idea that Boston's in first place and the Yankees are in last place is not what we expected a few weeks into the season.
Nope. No, it was supposed to be the opposite.
Yeah.
After the first series, it was supposed to be the opposite.
You predicted, Josh, that the Red Sox would finish last in the AL East.
Oh, well, come on. Let's be real. There's a lot of baseball. There's a lot of baseball to play. I still stand by that.
Okay.
I still think they will end up at the bottom.
All right. We shall see, Josh. We shall see.
Yeah, we'll find out. I mean, but it is fun. You're right. It's fun. Let's enjoy it while the Yankees are at the bottom, and enjoy that we are in third place at 7-9.
Yeah, and we got a lot to get to today. We're going to talk about the Franco play just because I got a different angle that I don't think people have talked about enough.
Oh, really? You got a different angle?
I got a different angle.
They did not show a good camera angle on the TV broadcast. I'll tell you that. So I can't wait to see your angle.
I got my own angle on this whole thing.
All right, I got
and
your
then
angle.
and then I'm so pumped. I did hardly any prep for the show because I was so busy planning while I was doing prep for the show. But now on the Orioles, I do have some Orioles stats to share. But Josh threw out this idea of new rules.
Because we got to talk about the Atlantic League trying out this whole double switch and the mound. So we're going to get to that. But then, I thought it'd be really fun if we also suggested our own rules, not shtick rules, not stupid rules, but stuff that would make the game better.
Yeah. Did you jot down a few, Josh?
Oh, yeah. I've got some right here.
How many you got?
I've got, at the moment.
What do you mean at the moment? We're doing the show. You can't add now. We're doing the show.
Something might come to my mind before we get to these rules.
Okay. All right.
Right now, I have we talked about the great rule at the Savannah Bananas?
That players are involved in the antics mid-inning?
No. All right. Well, I've got one rule that I stole from the Savannah Bananas.
Okay.
And I don't know if we've talked about it on here. And then I've got 3 rules that I came up with myself.
Okay.
One of them is very original. The other 2 are getting back to some old school baseball. How about you? You got a few over there ready for today?
Yeah, I got 11 rules that I came up with completely myself. Myself. Yeah, 11 rules. Awesome. I'm pushing the envelope with Josh on a little bit with a couple of them. I'm pushing the envelope. But there's a couple that you will be thrilled about.
And that's why I'm saying right now I've got 3. It might expand because as I see you push the envelope, I might open it up a little bit more. I made mine very these are rules that baseball could say, hey, we're doing this next year, and fans wouldn't completely freak out.
Okay. Well, mine, they might completely freak out, but it's not insane. All right. My rules are not insane.
I also, one of my rules fixes this stupid extra inning stuff. If you want to start right there, we're talking about Sunday and Franco.
Yeah, and I also have a rule to address extra innings. That's probably better than your rule.
Because after Sunday's game, I had to do Birdland Tonight all by myself.
Yeah.
Game, fun ending to talk about all by yourself.
Yeah. Hey, listen.
Pitching by John Means.
I want to talk about 2 things from that game, and we don't need to talk about anything else about that game. We need to talk about John Means, and then we need to talk about that Franco play at the end. Josh, what was your take before I share my twist? Or not? It's not even a twist. Just something I don't think has been given enough attention to.
All right.
What was your take on the Franco tag or the Franco?
I don't understand how Franco ended up in that position, because I see it as when you play baseball and you're on third base with no outs, 1 out. There wasn't 2 outs. So it was, I think
there's 1 out.
1 out.
There's 1 out. Because there was the play where he was on second, a fly ball, and he tagged to get to third.
You're right.
Yeah.
Which was a good play. Tagging from second to third, good play.
So Franco's a good base runner, you're saying?
No. So then the way I see it is for that, when you're on third base and a fly ball is hit into right field.
Yeah, but fly ball is Josh is a fly ball. It was a line drive, but okay.
All right. When you're on third base and the ball is hit, you have 2 options.
In the air.
You have 2 options. You can stand on third base until the ball lands, knowing you'll have plenty of time to run home, as long as you're there to leave as soon as the ball hits the ground or as soon as it's caught. Or you can go halfway, wait to see what the ball does, and then either proceed home or go back to third.
Yeah.
I believe what Franco did is he went halfway, panicked it was going to get caught, ran back, then ran back home. Ran back to third, then saw that wasn't caught and ran back home. Because that's the only way I can figure out that he got there so late to home plate. He's not that slow.
Yeah. And all of this is speculation because the announcers aren't at the game.
Right.
Goodness knows half of Texas is there, but no announcers are at the game.
Right, and the camera crew
didn't show it. So we really do not know what happened to Franco.
Right. As far as we know, Franco tripped, fell, rolled 3 times, and then got up and ran. But I also don't understand this about the play. Before we get to your other angle, when Franco ran into the catcher, Franco had no clue that catcher was there. He ran into it as if a wall just popped up, as if it was a ghost catcher that just popped up out of nowhere. He didn't put up any arms or anything to protect himself. He didn't see the guy there. He just ran. Yeah. I don't know what he was doing, that
Well,
he didn't see the catcher.
in his defense, the catcher was what, like 4 or 5 feet up the
6
line.
feet up the line, which makes it worse because it means Franco should have been clearly past him by that, so that when he went up to get the ball, Franco should have already been past them.
Yeah, like it would normally be considered a bad throw up the line.
It was a bad throw.
But it turned out to be a benefit because Franco was so slow. So
but somehow he had time to pick the ball up and be standing full straight for Franco to run into him.
Yeah.
I don't get it. And I don't know what Brendan Hyde was trying to argue about. So,
well, he talked about my angle.
All right, go ahead with your angle.
So this goes back to what happened when Franco was on second base. What happened with Franco on second base is Franco thought he was going to score. And the guy made a great diving catch. And the guy had so then Franco had to tag up and go to third.
Okay.
So then you can't tell me on an almost similar play where the ball was hit right in front of the fielder that Franco's not thinking of what happened last time.
Sure he is.
Where the guy dove.
Sure.
Because that's a situation.
Then?
Because Josh, if you tag, if the guy catches it on the fly,
right,
you're not going to score. It's not hit deep enough to score, so you can't tag up. The only scenario where you can tag up is if the guy dives and makes the catch.
Okay.
Then you'll have a chance to tag up.
All
so
right.
I think he had flashbacks of what happened with the left fielder on the previous at bat, and he thought, oh man, he's going to dive and make the catch, and then I'll have a chance to tag. So he's caught kind of that in between time, thinking about what happened on the last at bat.
But he ran back to tag. He should have just stayed on third when he went back. Why he then?
Well, he should have never went back.
I know he should have never went back, but once he went back, he shouldn't have then said, "Oh, I'm going home."
Right, he shouldn't have. But my point, but if you were to play that correctly, like the correct move, I think
is wait on third base.
No, because if he catches in the air,
okay,
you're not going to make it home.
You're saying go halfway.
Go halfway.
Wait, and then either go home or go back. He proceeded to return too fast.
Right, and if the guy makes a diving play where you could have tagged, then then you're kind of screwed.
Right.
But in that tweener area, you got to assume he's not going to make an amazing diving catch. So either he's going to catch it and you go back to third because it's too short to tag, or you run home because it was hit so hard and so short.
Exactly, and that's what I was saying. And what I think Franco did not do was go halfway and wait to see what happens.
Yeah, but I think the reason he didn't is because of what happened on the last time when the guy made the diving play. If that play never happened, I think he would have went halfway.
Well, I think he went halfway, but you're saying he wouldn't have.
He wouldn't have run back
so fast.
Yeah, he wouldn't run back.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's so irritating. The problem is twofold.
In the offseason, they need to do more agility drills running through tires so he can be quicker at going one way than changing pace and going the other way.
Why don't you? I guess it's because you need his defense that you can't pinch run him there.
Oh, it was an awkward bench situation because McKenna, your speed guy, had already come in for Stewart for a defensive replacement in the previous inning.
So then you had
no one. You had Severino, I think.
You had Severino on your bench, so you're not going to put him in. You're right. You're right. You're right.
And we have a short bench because we have freaking 14 pitchers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we already pinch hit for Rios, right? Actually, Rios was pinch hit for, I think.
It just sucks because
we didn't have the guy to
this is the third game so far out of the Orioles 16 games. 3 games that we can point to a loss because of a stupid play.
Yeah.
Where stupid base running, the other game getting the guy caught in the pickle and letting the other guy score, the other game where we were just throwing the ball all over the infield past everyone.
Well, and I think it was the game we ended up winning, but Franco was criticized before for not running hard to first base on a play that went extra innings against the Yankees. But
that's just Manny Machado. We're used to that.
But I'm encouraged.
Stupid losses based on fundamentals.
Yeah, but isn't that kind of encouraging, Josh? That like this shows how, because these extra inning games and how close these games are show maybe how we're becoming a more competitive ball club. And aren't you kind of encouraged by that?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely encouraged but I'm encouraged by the pitching. John Means pitched excellent. The past 5 games, the starting pitching has given up 6 runs over 26 1/3 innings and got 28 strikeouts. The starting pitching as a whole for their first 5 games means everyone in the rotation has a 2.05 ERA over those last 5 games.
Josh, our bullpen has like a 10 inning streak without giving up an earned run.
Okay, yeah, because that game-winning run wouldn't be an earned run because it's a
Yeah.
ghost runner.
Yeah, and we're ranked. Do you know what our ERA is for our bullpen? We're
gotta
seventh in
be-
all of baseball.
Well, last year we ended in like 5th,
I think we're ninth. I think,
9th.
but
Is
I
that
could be
where we
wrong.
were last year? I don't know.
But we're seventh this year. And the thing that amazed me about our bullpen is we got a bunch of bums out there. I mean, we got Wade LeBlanc, we got Plucko. These guys other teams didn't want. We got Cole Saucer. Like these are all
I know.
castaways that no one else wanted, and we're putting up the 7th best ERA so far in
Well, even
bullpen
our
baseball. And we were good
rotation-
last year too with this bunch of castoffs.
Even our rotation, we talked about how preseason, we talked about how our rotation has one pitcher, John Means, and then a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's great. It's exciting. But it also makes it way more irritating when you have games like yesterday that the lineup can't score a run.
Yeah, but on the other hand, right? What's more important? Like I try to keep perspective here. Franco's base running blunders have nothing to do with the 2023 World Series, right? Like he's not
Correct.
going to be part of this club.
Correct.
Dean Kramer.
Yeah. Dean Kramer, John Means.
Hey Josh, John Means trade candidate or no?
A lot of talk to him being a trade candidate. I don't think so. I think he's the type of guy you want to lead you. I think you extend him and you want him to lead this rotation. You don't have 5 guys in the minors that you see as rotation candidates.
Yeah.
There's no need to push John Means out now. I know it gets fancy. Santander, Trey Mancini, those guys are trade candidates because you've got other options. You've got a backlog of people at those positions.
Yeah, but
You don't have it in your rotation.
yeah, but the John Means is playing well, and the other two aren't. So that's why we're talking about it. But
Yeah.
the thing I don't understand about John Means, I don't understand. There's 2 things I don't understand. One is the Zips projections.
Right? What about it?
So he's projected, and they have these projections that you can go on even into the future. And they have for 2021, his projected, for whatever that's worth, his Zips projections ERA at 4.9. And then in 2022, 4.9. And in 2023, 4.93.
So
they
right.
they project that his average ERA will be close to 5 the next 3 years.
Yeah. Because he's an Oriole. No one's expecting him to be good. That's what happens.
But Zips is like not a subjective thing. Like, don't they just like plugging numbers? And this is, but
I don't know.
So that's weird to me. The other thing is, I saw a lot of people saying like, should you trade John Means? And of course, it comes back to what kind of package you get in return. And then someone was like, no, he could be a good 4th starter when the Orioles are good again.
Right, 3rd or 4th starter, yeah.
Yeah, 3rd or 4th starter. And I don't think people, you guys know Kevin Gossman is the number 1 pitcher down there in San Francisco. You guys know Dylan Bundy pitched opening day for the Angels.
Mm-hmm.
John Means
for the Marlins.
John Means will be a number 1 starter for half the teams right now in
Right.
Major League Baseball. Like John Means is not just an average pitcher.
No, there's a lot of people who think you need a Trevor Bauer on your team. You need a Shohei Ohtani. You need these aces. And sorry, but we've always made a joke that John Means is our ace. But the way John Means is pitching this year, he's just an ace.
I mean, his WAR right now is 0.7. And if you rank that amongst pitchers, he's the 4th. He's tied for the 13th best pitcher in baseball.
That means that
sounds pretty good to me.
Oh yeah, that means
amongst
that
starters.
more than half of the baseball teams do not have a pitcher as good as John Means.
Yeah, and the other thing I take issue with he could be a 3 starter, and maybe he will turn in, like maybe Hall will be great and Rodriguez will be great and Means will be your 3rd starter. But it's also assumed that would be amazing, but also assumes like that John Means is who he is, right? And he can't get better and turn into a 1 starter, right? So I think these guys are all kind of works in progress. If John Means has like the biggest whiff rate among strikes, I heard someone say today. Because his changeup are strikes and people just whiff right through it all the time. Right. And so I think the idea that John Means is who he is when he's only pitched. I mean, this is his 3rd year really pitching.
Right. Now remember, last season
in the majors,
John Means struggled for most of the season.
Yeah,
most of that shortened season until like the last week or 2.
Yeah.
So I think that might be why you're seeing some Zip projections that don't trust him. But
even John Means, when he was so horrendous, it was embarrassing last year. He ended up with an ERA of 4.5.
Right.
So that's even a half a point lower than what they're projecting him to have, even this year. And 2019, his ERA was 3.6. So
I mean, I don't know how any of that stuff works.
yeah, but if you're Mike Elias, and if you have your here's what concerns me: if you're Mike Elias and you have your model, right? Because he has his own ZiPS projection models, right? And what if the model says to him, "Oh, John Means is a 4.5 ERA pitcher," then he might be more likely to trade him,
right?
If he views him as a 3 or 4 starter, not as a top rotation starter. But
yeah, but even then, it's like you don't have 5 guys; you still need 5 guys. Bring up all our guys in the minors. If we're going to win in 2023, it's going to be with John Means in this rotation. I don't think you trade John Means and then you have the type of rotation to win in 2023.
Yeah, and it's true. And he doesn't he doesn't become a free agent until 2025. So even if like you want to trade him in the future because you realize, oh my gosh, Kramer's a stud, Rodriguez is a stud, Bauman's a stud, Lothar a stud, like all these starting pitchers turned into be studs, which won't happen. But if it did, and you're like, oh, we have an extra starter pitcher, let's trade John Means, who's getting expensive because his arbitration starts in 2022. Then you can talk about.
And that's why people are panicking, because his arbitration starts in 2022.
Right.
Arbitration just means you go into and sit with a mediator and you agree with, okay, you pitch this well, you deserve this type of money. And the Orioles say, we want to pay you this much. And John Means says, I want this much. And the mediator picks a number in the middle, generally. Or say, I mean, it's not like, it's like you can pay him that money. It's not going to cost you a whole lot more. No, or you extend him. And then it's not going to cost you a whole lot more.
Yeah, I mean, especially his first year of arbitration is not going to be too bad. I mean, it is going to, like right now he's $500,000. That's how much you pay him. Next year, be in the millions of dollars.
Right. But again, to pay a couple $1,000,000 for your top pitcher, no big deal. And what the Orioles are going to do is they're going to come to that arbitration with, look at your ZiP projections. You're supposed to be close to 5. We can't trust that you're going to repeat what you did in 2021.
Yeah.
I mean, so I'm not concerned about having to pay John Means.
Right. And certainly not have to pay him in his first year of arbitration. I think when you get in the second and third year of arbitration, it's more expensive every year.
Yes.
Then you can have that conversation. But there's no, I don't know, unless you think John Means is not this good, then you want to kind of strike where the iron's hot. But if you believe in John Means, and so I guess that depends, does Mike Elias believe in John Means? Then I don't see any reason to trade him. I mean, at some point, Josh, and if I'm saying 2023 still, that means at some point we have to hold on to the players we have who are good and still relatively young.
Yeah. And that goes back to me saying that's why I can understand Santander and Mancini being talked as trade candidates, because we have options there for the future. The outfield's crowded. We've got extra first
with younger players,
with younger players that show the same type of result, same type of possibilities, projections. So I can understand that. I don't see that in the pitch-in. So that's why I say John Means is not a trade candidate.
Yeah. So what would your reaction? So you, if it comes between, so who? And this was a question by Matt Carenza. That was really interesting. What would you be more upset by? Trey Mancini being traded or John Means being traded?
John Means.
Would you?
Not a question. Yeah. I'm not. Mancini is a great story about beating cancer. I'm not sold on Mancini as the leader of this team and the star that's going to take us to the World Series. That story doesn't sell me yet.
No, it sells me a little bit.
I mean, I like it. You can tell me, bring back Ryan Flaherty, and he's going to lead this team to the World Series. If you put in any name and say lead this team to the World Series, I like that story.
Yeah.
But it's the World Series part I like, not whether it's Trey or whatever. I don't care. It's a great story. I like Trey. I'm not saying I don't like Trey. But if you say, do you want Trey Mancini to lead this team to the World Series, or do you want Ryan Mountcastle to lead this team to the World Series? I don't care. The key factor would be leads to the World Series.
All I hear you say is, I hate Trey Mancini. That's all I'm hearing right now.
Exactly. That's why I was making it very clear, because I know how you spin crap.
No, but I mean, Josh, I think it's normal for fan bases to get attached to players. And
Yeah.
Trey Mancini is a player
All right.
we are attached to.
I was thinking about this today. 2021 Orioles.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite player?
Cesar Valdez.
You stole my answer. I'm right there with you. Cesar Valdez is my favorite player to watch right now.
That's what I wanted to say, because Matt Carencer had a poll, and I was like, "Can I add Cesar Valdez to this poll?" Because that's the one.
Like,
he's very likely to be traded.
Yeah.
My only hope is that he throws such junk that other teams are like, "There's no way this can continue to work,
Right.
throwing all this junk," so they don't trade for him. That's my only
he
hope.
Yeah, and he might not be my favorite in 2 weeks, but for this first 2 weeks of the season, 3 weeks, whatever we're in, he's my favorite player to watch because it's such junk and it moves.
Well, you remember my bold prediction, Josh.
What was your bold prediction?
I said there'll be one pitcher on this staff that has an ERA under 2, and it's going to be Cesar Valdez.
Did you? That's a good bold prediction. I like that one.
Well, I loved him last year.
Yeah. All right. Fangraphs, a lot of love for him over on Fangraphs on Sunday. A nice article on Fangraphs where they were talking to the Boston Red Sox, and the players can't stop talking about Valdez because they can't figure him out. And because he faced them 3 times already, like the Red Sox have faced him more than any other team. And they were talking to the hitting coach of the Red Sox, and he was saying, every time we're in the locker room, the guys are talking about Valdez. I've never heard a pitcher like this that the players are talking about this much.
Yeah.
So high praise from the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, he it's interesting because he gave up. I forget what game where he kind of blew the save and gave up a run. And then people were talking about him. Oh, he can't be the closer. Why is he still closed? I turned on 105.7, and they were like,
he's got 3 saves and 2 wins.
He can't throw hard enough to be a closer. Like, you got to be able to throw harder to be a closer. Like, you can't. The Orioles, need to put Tanner Scott back there. I was like, get out of here with that nonsense. It's that overreaction based on one appearance. And you don't need to throw out. You need to get guys out. And Valdez is kind of cool because he can be sitting there at 2-0 or 3-0 or whatever. And I have every confidence he's going to throw them junk up there and get weak contact. And so I don't even worry when he's behind the count.
The Orioles have 7 wins. He has, 3 saves and 2 wins. So 5 of those games, he was a big part of the 7 wins.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So Valdez is one of those guys where, because of his age, it wouldn't surprise me. He's 36 or something.
Yeah. He's not part of the future.
I don't know, Josh. With that, like, you could pitch for a while with that junk, right?
All right. Yeah, that's probably true. But I don't see him as a guy I'm penciling in for 2023. Yeah. But right now, he's my favorite guy to watch.
Yeah, I like him. I love the back of the rotation combo, the Tanner Scott and the Cesar Valdez. Those back to back, the guys like that.
Yeah,
the hard throwing.
Harvey. I can't wait till Hunter Harvey gets back in there and how he mixes in with these guys.
Yeah, there was a report that Hunter Harvey was thrown again, so that was encouraging.
That's good.
And yeah, go ahead.
Is there a report yet of Austin Hayes joining the team?
That's what I was gonna say. I think the tentative plan was to play. He will be back on Tuesday, tomorrow. I saw he played in the what are we calling it? The alternate site?
Yeah, Project Bowie, the alternate site.
He played in their game yesterday, so that's an encouraging sign. And so I anticipate him being back Tuesday. Josh, what do you think? How does Austin Hayes change kind of the dynamic of this lineup and this team?
It gives you that speed. The whole reason you're going to send McKenna back down.
I assume that's the corresponding move. Yeah.
McKenna. The only reason you brought McKenna back up is for that speed. What's going to be interesting is to see because you're going to want Hayes in the outfield. So I think that means you're going to see, and Stewart's hitting the ball really well.
I like the way Stewart's swinging.
Is struggling. So I think you're going to see Anthony kind of moved into that DH slot. I think bringing Hayes back gives you way more flexibility that you're going to be able to give off days, as in put him at DH, to DJ Stewart, Ryan Mountcastle, and Trey Mancini, and Anthony Santander. I think you're going to see those guys kind of rotate through, either playing the field or playing DH.
Yeah, it's been interesting because recently they've moved Ryan Mountcastle to first base.
Right.
And so Trey Mancini in that scenario would be DH. But for me, I see our best lineup. I don't know, because I like Stewart at DH. and Hayes and Mullins and Santander in the outfield.
It
But
really
then
makes
you
you
need to
wish-
make room for Ryan Mountcastle and Trey Mancini.
Right.
So
Right. It really makes you wish one of these guys could play second base. You know,
yeah.
somehow. I mean, yeah, I don't know how you do that, but because you would love to find a way to get Stewart, Mullins, Hayes, Santander, Mancini, Mountcastle all in your lineup.
Yeah, and this is a dilemma we knew about in spring training. But in my mind, in spring training, I was thinking, Mullins can be that fourth outfielder and just kind of, fill in.
Yeah, no one expected him to be the way he's being this
yeah,
year.
Mullins is he's no man's fourth outfielder, right?
No.
He is the team. So he's playing every day. And yeah, I don't know if you want to ease Hayes back in, and maybe that's how you kind of make it work. But yeah, we have when Hayes comes back, we have I'm excited because I think he makes your team better. And I would argue, I think keeping McKenna is really intriguing, especially because for two reasons. One, and I don't know how much you can plan for extra innings, but it would be nice to have McKenna just for extra inning pinch running opportunities. And
yeah, but you can't keep him on the bench and an extra outfielder, another outfielder on the bench. But you don't have enough bench spots with all these pitchers.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's my second point. My second point was, at what point do you not need the extra bullpen arm? Because now your pitchers aren't going 4 innings. Hopefully your starting pitchers are going, 5 and 6 and 7 innings. And as you said, our starting pitchers have been pitching a lot better. And we have a couple off days coming up this week. So is there room to kind of keep an extra position player? Though I guess you're right. It would make more sense to have someone who can play infield as opposed to get another outfielder.
And again, it's like, I don't know. Can we send Mountcastle down and say, work on second base? You're coming back as our second baseman.
Well, no, they've already tried that in the minors, by the way. I
don't think they tried him at second.
Really? I thought he tried everywhere.
I don't know.
But
I don't know, because I really would you'd love to have all these guys in the lineup, and you just can't.
Yep. And we'll see. Stewart being injured kind of worked that out, and then the time worked out when Austin Hayes got hurt. Then you can bring him in. Ryan McKenna was just an added bonus to get a sneak peek of Ryan McKenna.
Right. But again, McKenna
it's gonna be interesting.
Is the type of guy you want on your bench.
Right. He wasn't playing in the starting lineup every day. No. Right.
Yeah,
he was there for late innings.
He only had 2 starts.
I think 1, but yeah,
maybe 1. But the problem is when you're bringing Hayes, so you send McKenna down and you bring Hayes up. Hayes, you don't want on your bench. Hayes,
you want him starting every day. Yeah.
But everyone that you've got already is starting. You don't want any of those guys on your bench.
Yeah.
So
you want
really
Ruiz on your bench. Yeah.
Right. You want Ruiz on your bench or Franco on your bench.
Yeah.
I would say Galvis, but the past week Galvis started hitting the ball.
Yeah, he's been freaking on fire. He's been on fire.
I know. I did a Birdland tonight with Cody, and Cody and I were talking about maybe it's time to bring up Richie Martin. And the very next day, Franco started hitting the ball.
I thought that was one of the dumbest things ever uttered on Birdland.
Franco was horrible until last week.
Well, but Josh, the thing about Galvis is...
Or Galvis, that's what I meant.
Yeah, I know that's what you meant. The reason he's there is to be a trade candidate, trade bait.
Right.
All right, so he's going to be there until... If he's no longer trade bait, then you cut him or whatever.
You're right.
But he's going to be there till July. And then in July, if you realize, we're stuck with him, then you might bring up Richie Martin because you're like, we don't want Galvis anymore. And we couldn't trade him
for the future.
Yeah. So this is, and I think the same with the catcher situation. We're not signing a veteran catcher who we can't trade just so our team gets a little bit better in replace of Cisco. That's not happening.
Because we're not playing for this year.
We're not. And Mike Elias has been very upfront with that from Jump Street.
But here's my fear with Mike Elias is, in my mind, I'm shooting for 2023. Mike Elias needs to have a goal and not just keep trading everyone to bring in prospects and be like, you know what I mean? He hasn't made clear to the fan base what that goal is. So at what point do you keep flipping everyone versus what point do you say, this is my team?
Yeah, but in his defense, the only people he's traded have been either 1-year deal guys or veteran relievers.
Yeah.
He hasn't traded any a John Means. If he traded a John Means, now that would be okay.
Right.
He's getting into this forever rebuilding stage.
Exactly, and that's my fear. And that's why when fans start talking
about
there's
John nothing
Means, I have concerns about that. But you're right. I haven't seen that from Elias yet.
Yeah. And even Santander, that's what I think that was a good conversation we were having in the offseason. Okay, if Santander is traded, is this become at some point you have to keep the good players?
Right.
And is trading Santerre giving away one of your good players when? And the
But
only
I think-
reason we're saying it's okay is because he doesn't play second base. He
Right.
plays the outfield. So
Yeah,
then
I
we
think
can
we
kind of
just made
justify
that
it.
point clear that we don't have enough slots.
Yeah.
You can only play 3 outfielders. Well, 4 if you count DH. So
But
we made it clear that trading Santander would not hurt the team.
Yeah, and I don't even know. Like we don't know. I'm not convinced that Santander is a great outfielder. I'm certainly not convinced that DJ Stewart's a good outfielder. I'm not convinced that Austin Hayes can stay healthy. I'm not convinced that Cedric Mullins can continue to be a great outfielder. I'm convinced with
Mullins
none of them.
Right. Which is why we have them all up and rotating them through.
I have the most confidence
prove me.
in Trey Mancini, obviously, because he's done it for the longest period of time.
Okay.
I have the next most confidence in Ryan Mountcastle because he crushed in the minors. Highly touted prospect.
Yeah.
And he did well in his sample last year.
I don't know. I got pretty good confidence in Austin Hayes.
The only confidence is can he play all year?
Yeah.
He's never shown that he can play a single year without getting hurt. So that's my issue with him. And Cedric Mullins has been up and down more than a yo-yo.
We've seen him fall apart twice. To the point of not major league quality.
To go to AAA, then demoted from AAA to AA, and then to make it. I mean, it's a remarkable story. And then DJ Stewart, I like DJ Stewart a lot.
I like DJ Stewart.
He's 27. Like he's not 22. Like he's been around trying to get here for a long time. And I hope he can stick. I really do. I like DJ Stewart a lot, and I hope he can stick. But we have all these unknowns. So part of it is like trading Santander when you don't know if the other 3 are long term.
But remember, there's other guys like McKenna and other guys behind them that also are possibilities.
Possibilities, yes.
Yeah, and that's
how do you feel about the possibility of Hurston Kerstad? How do you feel about that possibility right now?
I have health concerns with him, but I'd like to see
you can't have playing concerns because you've never seen him play before,
right?
Yeah.
But I'd like to see some of these young guys play. I can't wait for the minors to open to see how some of these young guys do. Like Gunnar Henderson, I'm excited about as the shortstop of the future, but we haven't gotten to see him play yet.
Yeah, freaking any infield position, shortstop, second base, third base, just some infield position. Gunnar Henderson, yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. All right.
Sorry,
you want to get to some rule stuff? Oh, the only other thing I wanted to mention, Josh. Any thoughts on Dean Kramer getting sent down?
Oh, it's Dan Duquette baseball.
Oh.
We've been through this. Anyone who's complaining about this did not pay attention to Dan Duquette baseball. This is the Norfolk shuttle, as we used to call it, where you send a guy down to bring him back up. And now that you only have to send a guy down for 10 days, do the math. From his last start to the 2 off days, the next time the Orioles need a 5th pitcher is 10 days.
Yeah.
So he'll be up in the 5th spot because they're going to do a rotation of 4 and a rotation of 4 to keep everyone on the same pace. And this way Kramer can pitch down at the alternate site rather than a bullpen session. He'll pitch in a real game.
And hopefully work on that
fastball
game. Command.
Right. And then he'll be right back for his start as if he normally would. It's Dan Duquette baseball.
So you think Dan Duquette is like secretly behind the scenes making some moves for the Orioles?
No, I'm just saying it's smart baseball. It's a smart move.
But Dan Duquette would do it with veterans. Like that, he'd do it with Wei and Chen.
Yeah, I know.
That was kind of messed up.
Remember Chen got all angry? Or not?
Yes, I would get angry too. You're a veteran pitcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then what was it, around the All-Star break or something, I think?
Yeah. Well, he would do that every year at the All-Star break. Send like Bud Norris down and stuff.
Yeah, Miguel Gonzalez. That was messed up. I could see doing with a young player. That's messed up doing to a veteran.
Hey, it helped us win some baseball games.
Yeah.
By bringing that extra bench spot.
All right, you want to get some of our rule changes now?
Yeah, let's get to it. All right.
I'll go first. How about a pizza place where you make your own pies?
Wait. What are you talking about? We're talking about baseball rules, right?
I know. I was just watching Seinfeld and it was Kramer talking about a pizza place where you make your pies.
Is there not there's a pizza place where you make your own pies. There's got to be one.
Well, it was Kramer's idea first. He should get some credit.
Yeah, I know it came from Kramer, but there's got to be one that really exists.
Josh, how much of this time making the rules? Here's the rule I didn't make. I'm going to tell you the rule I didn't. The rule, the one I don't have a rule for.
Okay.
That I spent half my time thinking about.
Okay.
We need to have a rule to get the Orioles out of the Chris Davis contract. And I kept on trying to think of what could be a rule that could get
No.
teams out of these
We-
contracts.
We made that rule last week. Last week, we already made a rule for that. You can
What?
put your player.
The IL?
No, you can take your player and you can put him in any position in your organization, including usher or beer vendor or whatever you want. You can put the player anywhere.
Yeah.
And guess what? You make Chris Davis be a beer vendor for a year, and he'll either quit after 2 days or he's the best beer vendor in the stadium.
Yeah. Or the worst, and you can't fire him.
Yeah. Well, in that case, but you can then say, "Oh, you suck at beer vending. You're now on the field crew."
Yeah,
So
yeah.
You
All
can
right,
definitely have some fun with that.
So let's talk about. We both have extra inning rules. You want to start there?
Yeah. You want to start with extra inning rule?
Sure.
All right.
Mine's kind of lame, but
All right, then let's start with your lame one, and I'll show you a good one.
okay. So there's been talk about making like a tie after 12 innings or something.
Hold on. Before we talk about our made-up rules, do we want to talk about the real rules that they're going to test in the Atlantic League?
Oh, sure. I have those as my rules too.
Or does everyone already have those at this time? Does everyone already understand those?
Well, one of my rules, Josh, that I'm proposing is to move the mound back 3 inches.
All right, so let's talk about the 2 rules that they're going to be testing later in the Atlantic League.
Yeah.
The first one is to move the mound back a foot.
Right.
Do you like this?
Well, there's a question: do I like it, and is it possible? I like Buster Olney. I was listening to him talk about it. He was so dismissive of it because he's like, there's so many pitchers on the Players Association that this will never happen because the pitchers will never let it happen.
Yeah.
But to me, it'll increase offense. I think, Josh, are you aware the Orioles' offense has been so atrocious this year? Are you aware of that? They have a batting average.
Yeah.
Of 221 as a team.
All of baseball is having more strikeouts than ever.
But their batting average is 221. Do you know where that ranks in all of baseball?
Middle of the pack.
Yeah, about the middle. The Cubs are batting 192 as a team.
Yeah. No.
Boston Red Sox are batting 288. The next highest team is the Angels at 265.
All right.
It's wild.
Yeah. So the NFL does this every year where they slightly adjust the rules. They have their NFL rules committee that looks at the rules every year, and their goal is to try to balance the game so that if it becomes more offensive heavy, they balance the rules towards the defense, and they try to balance it so that it's always offense and defense are even. And I think that's why I like the idea of moving the mound back or lowering the mound 3 inches or something, slight adjustments to try to balance out. It's such pitcher heavy right now, baseball is. I don't know if this is the right answer. I don't know if this is going to cause more arm injuries because people have thrown from this distance for so long that throwing an extra foot is going to make a difference.
Well, that's what my idea was. Because I heard the foot is like the average fastball in like 2005 or something was like 92 miles per hour. And I guess this moving the mound back a foot will take the average fastball back to that speed.
What if they did this?
Yeah.
What if since pitchers won't let them move the mound back, they move home plate back a foot?
Oh, I see that. Oh, see, you should suggest that. Yeah, that's a good idea. But well, I suggested my rule change was 3 inches because then no one really might not notice at 3 inches where a foot is so big. Maybe 3 inches.
Right.
Yeah.
Speaking of might not notice.
No one notices 3 inches.
What makes baseball stadiums better than any other sports ballpark, arena or stadium?
They're all unique.
Right. So why don't we lean into that uniqueness and let each team decide where to put the mound and where to put the base paths?
Is that one of your ideas, Josh?
No, it's just off the top of my head right now.
Okay. Because I thought we were staying serious, Josh, and that seems a little bit off the wall.
That's what makes baseball great. The Houston Astros had a hill in the middle of center field for a long time and a flagpole. They had a flagpole in the middle of center field. So if that's allowed, why not move the mound wherever you want?
Okay. I guess as long as both pitchers have to pitch from it.
All right. So we both like at least testing this rule in the Atlantic League?
Absolutely. I think 1 foot is a bit extreme, but yeah, I like testing it.
I agree that 1 foot seems like a big jump. I'm not worried about Scott over on Facebook is commenting about more injuries and people with problem with control. Guys who spent throwing from 13. Is 13? You throw from that same distance at age 13? I guess that's what Scott's saying. I didn't
Yeah, it makes
realize that
sense.
you started. I thought you would. I guess 13
Certainly in high school you do,
That
yeah.
makes sense. Yeah, never mind. I was thinking 13 was middle school. Yeah, Scott's saying every year push it back an inch. I can see that.
See, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
At increments and real small. And the
Yeah.
arm injury, like at this point, I assume every pitcher is going to need Tommy John surgery or something at every point anyway. So I don't know if it's how can it be more frequent? It's happening into every pitcher.
Right.
I don't see it becoming more frequent. But yeah, I think a sudden 1 foot, is a bit extreme.
How about the double hook?
Yeah, I like it too.
That when you change your pitcher, you also have to get rid of the DH.
You lose a DH when you get rid of your starting pitcher. Yeah,
but then doesn't that kind of just take the whole point of the DH out?
Yeah, but what I like about it is it incentivizes starters going deeper into games. And then it's almost like the opposite of what happens in the NL, where you end up pulling your starter after like 4 innings because his spot comes up to hit and you want that hitting spot.
Yeah.
Where this does the opposite and forces you to kind of keep starters out there longer, which I kind of like.
Right, unless your starter's having a really bad game and you want to pull your starter in the first inning and then you take your big bat out of the lineup.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I like it.
How mad would you be if you were the DH?
Yeah.
And the pitcher sucks, so you don't get to play.
Well, it's another kind of strategy that the coach has to weigh, right? Like, do I want to suffer with the starting pitcher?
I do like more strategy in baseball.
Yeah.
I like that. So I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
All right. So those are the 2 rules that they're testing in the Atlantic League. So now let's get to some rules that we think they should consider testing in the Atlantic League.
Okay.
All right.
We're going to start with extra innings. Let's start with that extra innings.
Yeah, extra innings. Share your lame idea.
So after 12 innings, because some people propose after 12 innings a tie. I'm going to amend that. After 12 innings, the home team can choose to take a tie or to play on.
Oh, I like that. It's kind of like, okay. I like that.
More of a home field advantage. I'm trying to think of extra innings with more home field advantage.
Gotcha. See, I thought you were going to go with like a foot race.
No, see, because you told me not to get silly, Josh. And I thought about also like a home run derby, but you told me not to get silly.
I thought a foot race wouldn't be silly. It's more like a shootout in hockey. All right, here is my extra innings rules. It's a little complicated.
Okay.
All right. Because, see, I like the man on second base.
I don't, but okay.
But I don't think it's quite right. Here's how I want to do extra innings. In a 10th inning, you start with a man on first base. The 11th inning, you start with a man on second base. 12th inning, you start with a man on third base. Now that stays with a man on third base for the 12, 13, 14. If you get to a 15th inning, you have to use your DH as your pitcher. So basically wrapping it up in that 15th inning.
I like that. Though you could even add after the guy gets the third, then you could have a third and then also throw a guy on first and then throw a guy on.
No, but see, I thought of that. But if you do third and
second.
See, none of that matters because third and first it's easier to get a guy from third in than if you have a guy on third and first. Because once you do third and first, you set up the double play possibility.
All right.
So if you have a guy just on third, then you can't get that double play, or you walk a guy to get yourself in that double play situation.
Yeah, but the way extra innings,
that 10th starting the guy on first base, so you're not immediately in scoring position.
No, I like that better than how it is now. Actually, I like that. I get behind that.
I'm telling you, this is real rules.
This reminds me of my other extra inning
Someone
rules.
take this audio and send it to MLB.
Yeah, especially this next thing I'm about to say. Because you remind
out Matt's voice and send mine.
Wait, would you say something about having the pitcher hit or something?
Huh? No, the DH has to pitch in the 15th inning.
Yeah, so that was my idea. Josh, there was a game in the Dodgers where David Price hit a fly ball, a sacrifice fly to Joe Musgrove with a position player pitching. And that got me thinking, which was a bizarre thing to have a hitter who's a pitcher hit it to a left fielder who's actually also a pitcher when a position player was pitching. Yeah. But it made me think about, what if in extra innings they just switched it and all the pitchers become position players and all the position players become pitchers for extra innings?
All right, that's silly. But how about this? How about we go with some hockey? I think this is kind of, I don't really watch hockey, but I believe this is something done in hockey. When you get to extra innings, I'm going to say my official entry, if we're entering into MLB's real suggestions, I'm going with my original suggestion.
Okay.
But how about instead of a man on base to help the offense, every inning you have to remove a fielder.
Yeah, I can get behind that too.
So it's up to you. 10th inning, all right, I'm not going to put a second baseman out there.
Yeah.
11th inning, all right, I have no second baseman and no right fielder.
Yeah. Like Ryan McKenna and Cedric Mullins become really important there. Yeah.
Right. You can never move out your catcher and your pitcher. You need them.
Yeah.
But if you go into inning 18, all that's out there is your pitcher and your catcher.
Yeah, that'd be intense. You better strike the guy out.
Yeah. So that's my other option.
Yeah, I'm okay with that idea.
All right.
My other idea, robot umpires.
Come on, I'm all for robot umpires.
Okay. I just want to put that out there.
But only for the strike zone. I think it gets too complicated everywhere else.
Yeah, just for the strike zone. And my other idea related to that one.
Okay. So basically, you took real ideas that they're testing, and then you also added to it something extreme.
Universal DH. So DH
in
the American League and National League.
All right.
That's my other one.
Gotcha. All right. Continue to take real ideas. All right. I'm going to throw out here. This is the one I stole from the Savannah Bananas. If a fan catches the ball in the air, it's an out.
Oh,
Did you
know
ridiculous. The
Savannah
Bananas do that?
They don't do that.
Yes, they do. They do that. If a fan catches a fly ball in the air, the batter's out.
That's dumb. That's dumb. That's going to go up there with my idea, and maybe Savannah Bananas can do this.
How much more fun would it be to cheer and boo fans that drop or catch balls?
Yeah,
if it affects the game.
Oh yeah, there's the opponent. Like there could be some defense going on out there.
Yep.
I mean,
I didn't even think about that. Like you and trying to stop a Yankee fan from catching the ball.
Yeah, you asked for some fights.
There.
Yeah. That reminds me of my one rule, and this might be an actual rule too. I don't know. I don't pay attention that much, but I was thinking what changed the game in the NBA was when they added the 3-point shot.
Oh, I thought it was when they went political.
No, it was when they added. It was when they added the 3-point shot.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't think it's saying that Black Lives Matter is political either. But what if there was a 2-run shot, a way to get a 2-run homer,
like a bucket or a car in like center field, and
a bucket, a car, a hole,
extra fence,
but not over the fence, within the fence, because I want to encourage less home runs and more doubles. So maybe at the bottom of like one of the fences, you just have a little hole and you get it through the hole.
Oh, I like that.
You get a 2-run. You get 2-runner.
Kind of like little league or softball.
I was thinking more mini golf, walls, but yeah,
or mini golf. But you're right. What if the bottom of the wall was just the thickness, a little bit taller than a baseball all the way around of a gap, and if you get it past the outfielder and it goes in that hole, you get extra bases.
Yeah. So that was my idea, but more like a way to score a 2-run homer.
Yeah, you're counting that as a 2-run homer.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other, just because it's like exciting, like the NBA with the 3-point shot.
But what if the bases are loaded? Then it's a 5-run dong.
Well, Judge, I haven't really thought these rules through.
Or a 5-run. I guess it wouldn't be a dong if it just bounces and rolls under the fence.
Here's another rule I got, and feel free to jump with any of your rules. What if we realign the divisions with mid-market, small market, and large market?
I like realigning the division. I don't
or
know
even
by market, but I'd like by region.
Or even by region.
I think the division should be bigger than 5 teams.
Yeah, I just don't want to be in our division anymore. I just want to leave our division. I want to be with the. I want to be with the Nationals.
I was going to say, can we just trade with the Nationals? Because I want to be with the Marlins and the Braves and the Pirates.
Yeah, but the AL East the AL East is really good this year. But
the NL East, you mean?
The NL East is really good.
Yeah.
But they're not good every year, like the AL East.
All right. My next rule is I would like to ban the shift. I would like to have set positions that the players need to be in before the pitch starts.
Can I just say, I was on the ban the shift thing before it was cool. Now everyone's getting on it.
I know you were. But
the first time I saw Chris Davis hit into the shift to get out, I was like, I hate you, shift. This is bad for baseball.
Everyone talks about Chris Davis's strikeouts. The strikeouts didn't ruin his career. The shift ruined his career.
Yeah, you killed Chris Davis. Shift.
You did.
Can we, alongside that, can now finally become popular, a mandatory wave? Can everyone participate and we have a mandatory wave in baseball? Since we're banning the shift as well.
A mandatory wave?
Because that's how I love the wave. All right, here's my other idea. No, but I'm on board with your ban the shift.
Hey, ban the shift. Real quick, I'm just jotting down this note.
Yeah.
Because later I was going to say that we've got new T-shirts up on section336.com. We need a ban the shift T-shirt.
Yeah.
And I'm
good
thinking
with that.
we need to put Chris Davis's number on the back of it.
Ooh, I like that.
So we completely put all the blame. All right. So you got another rule?
I got a lot of rules. This is more serious.
Sure, it is.
All-Star game. It is All-Star game selections.
Okay.
For starters, the starters of the All-Star game, completely decided by statistics, completely decided by computers. A computer program decides all the All-Star starters.
I like that.
We can vote on the bench players.
I'm all for that. Or we go the opposite, and it's completely done by a lottery. It's random players out there.
Maybe I prefer that over this stupid popularity contest.
Or you bring it back hanging chads, and you have to be at the ballpark to vote.
Yeah, but then you have people putting 50 ballots in the freaking stuff in the ballot box.
I just like when they would come up and pass out the chads.
Yeah.
The All-Star game used to be really cool. I'd love for them to bring some magic back to it.
Oh, I don't think it's magicless.
All right, but you're right. I don't want the popularity. I want it completely done by stats. So I like that. I want to bring back collisions and blocking the plate. I think we made that rule because of who was it? Pujols?
Buster Posey.
Posey.
Yeah.
Who got hurt? Pujols. Why didn't I say him? Posey. The Posey rule. Get rid of the Posey rule and bring back collisions at home plate. You can block every other bag, and you can run into players everywhere else. Get rid of it, and let's come back. I know the concern is safety and all, but who cares? Let's go back to real baseball at home plate.
Yeah, it's fun trying to knock the ball out of the catcher's glove. Who cares about concussions? They're not real anyway. Josh, I know you're on board with this idea.
NFL says they're not real.
Josh, I know you're on board with this idea.
All right.
All drafted players become free agents at the age of 26.
I like that. That sounds great.
Then you draft a guy at 22 or whatever. You better put him in the majors. You only got 40 more years with him.
If you didn't put him in the majors. How about that? How about we tweak your rule where any player still in the minors at age 25, 26 is automatically a free agent?
Okay, we can tweak a little bit. I don't know if I want to go that far. We can tweak a little bit. But it's rules that incentivize teams, not de-incentivize teams from bringing up young studs to the majors. That's what we want.
Right, agreed. And that's what I'm hoping we get with the minor leagues getting smaller, is that you don't store as many of these guys for the future.
All right, I have a similar rule. I told you I have a lot of rules, Josh. Okay. This is another one I think is good. Though I'm saving my best. I got a brilliant rule, Josh, that you'll love. That
I've already given up my best rules.
Okay, I got a top one. Right. But my other idea is international signings. Here's my problem with international signings, Josh. I have a lot of problems with international signings. Okay. One, they're like 15. That's weird to me. But my other problem is we never see these players for years and years and years.
Right.
So I think players who are signed internationally should come, and they're still on the team that signed them, but you come to America and play college. I guess optional to come to America and play college ball for 2 or 3 years instead of being in the little development league. Come to America and play college ball so we can see him playing college.
What if you just brought? That'd be cool. But what if you did just bring those development players, and every year, kind of like the World Series of Baseball, where you would go and play in other places, but you bring those guys to America for like a mini season.
Yeah,
or championship, like a tournament type thing. Where we
I think a way to watch them, because it's frustrating to me that we have all these guys I'm hearing about at 17, 18. I want to see them play, and
I agree.
I won't get to see them play until they arrive at Delmarva in 3 years or whatever.
Now, hopefully, technology gets to a point where they start putting cameras in like that fancy new place that the Orioles bought, so we can start checking them out that way.
Yeah, but at least if they're playing college ball, they'll be playing against real competition, which would be cool.
All right. I think the ceremonial first pitch should count in the game. And if you throw it and it goes over the plate, it's a strike. If it's a ball, it's a ball. And the first player has to start with that count.
How are you going to give me a lecture on not having dumb rules that are unrealistic, and you're throwing out this nonsense?
I had that nonsense there just for you when I heard you were going to make some nonsense stuff. I jotted that down.
So you would encourage teams to bring in like legit players who can Bring
Yeah,
in Jim
like we'll
Palmer.
have Jim Palmer down there all the time. You can bring out Anthony Fauci. We'll throw Jim Palmer up there.
Yeah. All right. Here's my last dumb one, and then I have my best one of all time.
All right.
So penalties are a thing in like all sports, right? Basketball has penalties,
All right.
football,
Okay.
hockey. So we need some penalties in baseball. We don't have that many. Like, what would be a penalty in baseball? Like a balk, maybe it might be a penalty.
Yeah, but it's a walk.
Yeah,
Guy
yeah.
goes to first.
Or we can make like if you beam a guy, it's a penalty.
No,
Like get
because
more
then
penalties.
you get the guy to first base. You got to think of things that they don't have results in already.
But Josh, a balk is a ball. That's no penalty.
No,
If
it's
you
not.
give-
It's oh yeah, but if you have
If
a guy
you're
on
if
base,
you're a
he
runner,
moves.
you get
Yeah.
advanced to base. Yeah.
All right, fine. I'll give you the balk. But how about if you just like, I don't know.
If you throw a ball at a guy's head, you guys get to go to first base. You
No,
think it's
all right,
even?
You're right.
That's
All
why
right.
they storm the field.
You're right. All right. So let me tell me on these penalties.
So if you get a penalty,
Red card.
no, you get a foul shot. But instead of a foul shot, you get your batting practice guy can come in and throw one pitch to the hitter.
I thought this was going to be a serious solution. So if you're right,
So that's the penalty, like
All
a
right.
one free throw, one free
Fine.
kind of swing from your batting practice. guy.
fine. Then in this case, how about if your manager gets thrown out of the game, instead of getting thrown out of the game, the ump forces him into the lineup.
Okay, Josh, thank you for the transition because that leads into my best idea
All
yet.
right, let's see your best answer.
And I think they should really do this. Like, I'm serious. They should. Then this is a little bit. I think they should really do this.
All right, listeners, let us know who gave the actual best answers for this and what rules you would like to see in baseball.
Yeah. So mine involves instant replay because
Okay.
instant replay is slow and boring, and I don't trust these
Okay.
umpires. I think for instant replay, both managers should be part of the instant replay review process. Like everyone, give each manager a headset
Okay.
along with the umpire and let them kind of, argue it out. So you bring back arguing in baseball and like you get that kind of fight between managers and fight between the umpires, have everyone up there, the managers and the umpire all reviewing the call together.
You sure you don't want them to just put on boxing gloves and the two managers fight?
No, we'll do this
You
Earl
want more
Weaver style.
fighting?
Because the problem is, Josh, the umpire is all there by himself listening to New York about what's happening. Like there's the managers don't get their say anymore.
No, I
Let
know.
everyone get their say. Let them all get up there for the replay.
All right, here's how I would like replays. I like replay, but it slows down the game.
Yeah, and that would also
So
be slow,
I want-
but it'd make it a little more exciting.
I want you to be able to challenge anything, and when you challenge it, just a voice comes out of the sky, out of the speakers, saying "ball," like a God voice, a God ump who has all the replay and has the answer before you're even challenged it. Make it quick. There's no reason the guys on the field need to watch and make a decision.
Yeah,
The decision should be made immediately.
I agree. And if you can't tell after 10 watches, then just go with the original call. Like whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Not that
Scott
serious.
says, as a baseball purist, you got him thinking about some interesting moves. So,
All right, that's my list. I think I got
all
them
right.
all.
I think that's a good list.
Yeah, I still like this idea of a pizza place where you can make your own pies.
That's got to exist. I'm sure it does. Hey,
No, too dangerous.
no, you make the pie. You don't put it in the oven. You then give it to someone else.
So you just put toppings on top of dough? Is that all you're doing?
Yeah. And some sauce and cheese.
Okay.
So, hey, we got another podcast review this week.
Oh, nice.
It's 5 stars, like always. Great podcast. As a diehard Orioles fan born and raised in Connecticut, it's beyond difficult to drown out the noise that's known as a Yankee and Red Sox fans. Couple that with the fact that I'm 32 and my formative years were spent witnessing the Yankee run of the mid-90s and the Red Sox run of the last 15 years. It's not
Been there.
fun.
Yep.
Luckily, this podcast seems to have turned the tide. Great insight, analysis, and overviews regarding the state of the team. It's nice hearing others care more about who's the number 5 starter out of Charm City instead of another Aaron Judge home run call. Keep up the great work, guys, and you definitely got a new listener in the Constitution State. To quote Matt, and as always, go O's.
Nice. First of all, that was a great review on so many levels. They quoted me, which is the sign of a great review. They bashed the Yankees
And the
and
Red
they're
Sox.
overhyped in coverage, and and the Red Sox,
even,
and they said a couple nice things about us.
And even trashed Aaron Judge.
Yeah, and trash Aaron Judge. So yeah,
it's all good.
That's how you write it. That's how you write a Orioles podcast review. That's how it's done.
Right. So head on over to iTunes and do that. I don't think anyone else lets you do reviews, but keep doing it on iTunes. It helps us out a lot.
Yeah. All right. We ready to get out of here, Josh?
Yeah. Yeah, we're in overtime.
I know.
We started late.
We don't really have time for ball fours. We'll do ball fours next week.
Oh, too bad. I watched a movie I liked this week.
No, I haven't watched anything.
So.
Except for Seinfeld.
Check out the movie Nobody. I watched that on Saturday. It's got the guy from the Breaking Bad, the lawyer, Saul Goodman. It's got him. You didn't watch Breaking Bad.
Never seen it.
Yeah. So it's got him in there, and some guys break into his house, and then he goes after them as like a normal guy.
Yeah. So we're doing ball four now, or no? We're not.
No, I was just going to share that one because I'd forget next week.
All right, fine. You said it. All right.
So no need to do ball four. We got rules. Those rules are way better than ball four.
Yep. Yeah. So check. You can also support us on section36.com. Josh, we got some new gear up there.
Yeah, new shirts. And I'm going to be working on some more new shirts this week, and they're on sale for the next 2 or 3 days. $14 for t-shirts. So you're not going to be able to beat that. So check that out over at section336.com. You can also support us up there. We got a couple new Patreon members in the past week. I don't have the names in front of me, so you'll get your shout outs next week. But thanks for joining us there as well. It really helps us out.
Yeah, appreciate it. You can follow us along all your favorite social media sites. You can follow me on Twitter at Section336. You can follow Josh on Twitter
at Josh Soroka.
Thanks for listening, boys and girls. And as always, go O's.